Darkcast Network, indie pods with a dark side.
Do you have a story of survival?
A parent goes to residential school. They haven't had that family connection. Those traditional values and ceremonies that many of us exposed to are taken.
Or have a lost loved one that was involved in human trafficking, exploitation, missing, or murdered? My name is Jasmine Castillo, and I am the host of Hands Off My podcast that brings to the forefront, specifically from Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Black Indigenous people of color.
Anderson County 911, what's the location of your emergency? Ma'am, what's going on out there? You're saying a baby's missing and nobody...
As well as nonprofit organizations.
When I was a private investigator 5 years ago, we picked up a case that was Shanice Harris' case.
That help and advocate families of lost loved ones with their closure.
From sometime from his shift at work to that next day, he was either robbed or apprehended at some point with someone coming into the restaurant.
And opening a cold case.
So that, to me, was his way out, and it negatively impacted Armani's investigation.
Please join me on Thursdays on any podcast platform wherever you listen to your podcasts. We are voiceless no more.
Hi, this is Kelly.
And this is Jenna.
And you're listening to ODFM.
This episode is one Duplicata From Murder.
Is that a duplication?
It is Portuguese, and it means double or duplicate or copy. See, people learn from us.
I mean,
you now know a word in Portuguese.
So I'm ready to go down there. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah. I can just say, "Hola, duplicata."
Are you American? Where do you need to go? Whatever. Duplicata. Duplicata?
Okay. Just
ma'am, where's your passport?
That. Duplicata? I don't know. Duplicata baño? I don't know.
Right. I need a double bathroom. All right. So here's our story. Are you ready?
I'm excited to go to another country. This is exciting. Okay.
Well, no, this actually takes place in Ohio.
Oh, well,
I threw you
kind
there.
of another country for me.
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
I am going to tell you the story of Karl Hoerig.
Okay.
He was born on Christmas Eve, 1963.
Oh, that's either a great birthday or a rough birthday.
Right?
Yeah.
That's when you have to celebrate their half birthday so that they have something to look forward to.
You're so smart.
Otherwise, everything.
Yeah.
Well, I only know because I have friends who had their birthdays like that and then they got a half birthday. It makes sense.
That's smart.
Do the half birthday. So they have something. So he grew up in Newton Falls, Ohio. He was the middle child. There were 3 boys and he was the middle one. At 18, he joined the Army and went on to become a highly decorated Air Force pilot. He flew all over the world. He flew in almost 200 combat missions to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Holy shnikes. That's a lot.
He was the hero. He was an American hero. His good friend, who was also in the Air Force with him, Gary Dodge, he was quoted saying, he was actually a very good pilot, but he was a better person.
Aww.
Right? Unfortunately, we know when you hear nice things about people,
you're going to die.
No.
Oh, that's not it? Oh.
And this is a true crime murder podcast. And this guy was in Afghanistan and Iraq.
True. Okay. I was going
it's actually pretty sad.
Seriously, I was going with the Keith Morrison version where if you light up a room and you're a good person,
up a room, exactly.
You're probably the dead one. Yeah.
And this guy was a true American hero. He was a really nice guy. He was a good American. He helped his country. I'm sorry that he is the subject of this podcast.
Oh, that's sad. Okay.
So he met his future wife, Rhonda, at a military ball. They had two.
Rhonda. Oh, sorry.
Not help me, Rhonda.
Oh.
Yeah, she did. She helped him. They got married.
Oh, good. Hey.
Yeah, they had 2 children together, Eva and Brent. But Karl and Rhonda's marriage didn't last. But they split amicably in 1998 when the kids were still young, but they were actually really good at co-parenting. And his kids said that they always felt like they were still a family, even after Rhonda and the kids moved to North Carolina. I mean, he was gone, like being in the military and stuff. He was gone.
So they were used
for
to him
big
being
chunks of time. Right.
Gone, but
when he was back, he was
he was fully
part
engaged.
of the family. Like they figured,
they should have started a podcast because this is something everybody seems to struggle with, co-parenting. So
yeah, right. But they did it very well.
Like they did it well. Yeah.
They remained friends, right? When he left the military, he got a job as a commercial pilot for Southwest.
Nice, smart.
And he joined the Air Force Reserves. So he kept serving his country. He was on a routine mission to Peru when he met a young woman named Carla del Castillo. So he met her. They kept in touch. She came to visit him in Ohio. Wow. They fell in love.
Oh, that's awesome.
And eventually Carla moved to the US to be with Karl.
Nice.
And they moved into a house together near Youngstown, Ohio. Everything was great for about 2 years. Karl said of Carla that she was the love of his life. And yes, this is Karl and Carla.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Karl and Carla, but Karl was with a K, and I think Carla was with a C.
Okay.
Still,
I was expecting a Carlos to come along then too.
No, I don't think there were any Carloses. But there was that age difference. I don't know what the age difference was, but she was younger. And Carla wanted to get married and have kids. Okay, so Carla wanted to get married and have kids. Karl didn't want to have any more kids.
Yeah,
he
already had his.
I did that. I'm beyond that. So, eventually they broke up because they were kind of at an impasse, right? Karl was wrecked. And after about 6 months, he realized he made a mistake letting Carla go. Unfortunately, Karl tried to get Carla back, but she had already moved on. Maybe he wasn't the love of her life. I don't know, but he was like, I made a mistake. I should have just gotten married and had kids. And she was like, yeah, I'm over it now. And Karl was crushed. So at this point, he's 42 now. And a lot of his friends were either married or getting married. And
so he felt a little odd man out. Yeah.
Right. And his family lives down in North Carolina,
Ooh, yeah.
So in April of 2005, Karl started going on Match.com.
Oh, here we go.
Because this is 2005. I don't know. Did we have dating apps in 2005 or we still mostly Match? I don't know. But he went on Match.com.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe it was the start of it. So that's where he met a vivacious 40-year-old Brazilian woman named Claudia Sobral. So she was an accountant and an English teacher, and she lived in New York City.
Oh.
She was born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, but she left Brazil and moved to the United States in the mid-'80s when she was in her early 20s, right? She came to America, and then she married a doctor, and she became a natural, American dream. She became a naturalized citizen in like 1998, 1999.
Okay,
somewhere around then.
Yeah.
And about a year later, she and her husband divorced. So she's single. She's going on Match.com.
She's ready to mingle.
She's looking for love, right? The most notable thing about Claudia was that she looked a lot like Carla. Like a lot.
Okay, that's like a little weird.
She was like a duplicate, if you will. She looked very much, right?
Duplicata.
They could be doppelgangers.
That's creepy. I don't think I'd want to be someone that looked just like someone
like my ex, right?
Yeah.
Both had long dark hair and dark eyes, big bright eyes, big smiles.
Brazilian butts.
They were both from South America.
Okay.
But that's kind of where the similarities ended. Peru, the main language is Spanish. Brazil, it's Portuguese. So they don't even speak the same language. She's different. Just from the same general region. And their personalities weren't the same. Yeah, he's got a type look wise.
A type to look.
Right.
Yeah. Which is most guys have a visual type. Yeah.
A visual type, right?
Right.
So after dating for about 6 weeks, Karl proposed to Claudia.
Karl, what are you doing? Before you didn't even want to, what?
I know.
Right.
And
maybe he doesn't want to make the same mistake.
But he's in Ohio. She's in New York. It's not like they're even spending
enough time to get to know each other that well.
They're not, right? Yeah. So Karl's friends were worried. They're like, why you got to move so fast, man? And he was like, I can't let this one get away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Big red flags, right?
Some mistakes don't lead to better mistakes later. Some mistakes just repeat
right?
in a different way.
This is not, you can't just replace her. You can't just
shit. Okay.
cycle a new one in, right? So in June of 2005, they went to Vegas and got married.
Oh.
They had only known each other for 2 months.
Oof. You can't even figure out if somebody like pees in the shower by that time, you know, like you're like,
I was like, I don't even know if I know what you like on your pizza. You went with peas in the shower. Like you really jumped ahead.
there's some things that you got to know.
That are like, I cannot live with this person, and peas in the shower is one of them. I will give you that.
Yeah, like there's things. That you want to know before you marry.
What if they live crumbs in the butter? Like that drives me nuts. Crumbs in the butter.
Crumbs in the butter. Yeah.
Right. You don't even know these things yet. And now you're married.
There's rough ones. Yeah. There's so many details you got to get hashed out, especially like family too. You haven't probably gotten to.
Oh, I'm sure they haven't. No.
And those holidays can be rough. So
you don't know what kind of crazy you're marrying into.
No.
Good God. No. Okay. So Karl had a nice house in Newton Falls, Ohio, which was his hometown, and it's where his parents and his brothers still lived.
Oh,
so
all right.
He had a house there.
Yeah.
But they went to Vegas and they got married. Claudia still lived in New York. Like she still had her place.
Okay. So are they just going to have a weekend marriage?
I don't know. It took a couple weeks and he had to convince her to move to Ohio.
Oh, that might not turn out so well.
We're married now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
That can lead to bitterness. Maybe she doesn't want to live there. Maybe they should have figured that out beforehand.
These are all things that should be discussed before you go to Vegas. So, needless to say, this wasn't really panning out to be the marriage either one of them were hoping for. They really didn't see eye to eye on things. Claudia could not live up to Karl's expectations, which was essentially she wasn't Carla. Unfortunately, he brought that up a lot.
Oh,
he compared her to Carla a lot.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Just because they look alike, you can. Yeah. So that had to be really difficult.
He needed to take time to really get over it. Sounds like
seriously.
Not. Yikes.
So, and here's the other thing. Karl was a pilot. Pilots are away a lot. So Claudia moves from New York, and now she's living in little town Ohio, where she doesn't know anybody. Right. And she's alone a lot.
Oh, that would be really uncomfortable.
Right? Like, I've never lived in New York City, but, it's the city that never sleeps,
bustling.
Right?
She's probably used to go
everywhere,
fun,
wherever you want to go or whatever. Now it's like, oh, everything's closed at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Totally.
She filled her time with shopping.
Oh, I get that. Oh, shoot.
I heard that she filled the basement with racks of clothes. Like she bought racks to hang all the clothes that she bought.
Oh, no.
So this is what she does. She shops.
Yeah.
Retail and it must have been physical shopping because this wasn't online shopping. We didn't really do the online.
We didn't do too much.
She was physically going out and buying all this.
I mean, I get it. I love retail therapy. I got to say,
I know,
but
and that's what she did. Right?
It can lead to problems.
A couple other weird things that friends and family of Karl's noted was like Claudia told Karl she wanted a gun for protection because she was afraid to be alone in the house, which is weird because she lived for years in New York City.
Yeah, and New York City you would think would be way more dangerous, but
right. The crime rate compared to New York and Newton Falls was very different.
Oh boy.
Maybe she couldn't get used to the quiet.
That's
maybe
what I was just going to say. The rural, maybe she's like, I feel more.
She can actually hear the house settle and it's unsettling to her, maybe. Like, I don't know.
And like people can't hear her scream because there's nobody close enough. So maybe that's part of it too.
Right.
Not that
I don't know.
You hear New Yorkers help with that, but.
So, I'm sure they're just like, yep, another person screaming. Go to bed. Like I'm trying to sleep here. Right. After 2 years, it became pretty clear to Karl that he no longer wanted to be in this marriage.
Okay. Well,
right. Claudia didn't want to end the marriage. Claudia is still trying to make things work. She still wants the marriage to work.
Into him.
Karl's like, you're not Carla. This is not what I signed up for. It's not working. So, and whenever he tried to talk to her about it, her behavior became more and more erratic.
Uh-oh. She got that spicy fire.
She does. She's Brazilian, right? Mm-hmm.
This is a tough lady. Okay.
So, but you can't say that she wasn't into, she didn't believe in divorce because she divorced her first husband. But anyway.
True.
She can't do that. But
She's just spicy.
She didn't.
She liked her man. She wanted to keep him.
On February 5th of 2007, Claudia called Karl's family to the house for an emergency meeting, is how she put it.
Oh, no, we're having a big family meeting, everybody.
Right, big family meeting. Karl didn't know about it. He actually got up that morning, went downstairs for coffee, and found everyone waiting for him like it was an intervention. Right, yeah. Dude, the last thing I want when I get up early in the morning and I haven't had any coffee is to find a bunch of people sitting in my living room waiting to talk. I'd be like, no.
I don't like that any time of day.
Right, yeah,
people
you're right.
sitting in my house, get out. No. Unless I've pre-planned something. No.
Right. So obviously he was pissed. He remained calm. He was calm.
Okay.
But he was pissed.
Yeah, this isn't going to get me back. No.
Exactly. He said he was done with this drama. Like she's Brazilian. I said, she's feisty.
Yeah.
He took that as drama. See, they didn't even see that in the same way. Right?
Totally.
She probably thought it was passion. Mm-hmm. He's like, this is drama. I don't do drama.
Absolutely.
Right?
Total different cultures.
Oh, no. He was like, this was like the last straw. He's like, you know what? This emergency meeting stunt, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I don't want to live like this. And I don't want to discuss this in front of my family.
Oh, I'm sure. That's like super embarrassing.
Wanted to talk about, she was like, I brought your family here. We're going to talk about the tension in our marriage. And he's like, I don't want to do this in front of my parents.
That's
what are you
hilarious.
talking about?
I wonder if that's a part of their culture. Like maybe that's how they.
Oh, I wonder. Is that a cultural thing? Yeah, we're all going to sit down. We're going to hash this out. Let's do it.
Let's figure this out.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because maybe they solve problems that way. Like, okay, mom and dad know best because they've been together so long. Let's talk about this all together. Maybe that's how the culture did it.
And in South American countries, like, you marry into a family. You're part of the family.
You do everything.
Generations live in a household.
Totally.
I wonder. He took it as a stunt, but you know what? She might have just been.
She might have been
like, this is how we solve problems.
Yeah, and this is the most.
That's interesting.
The best way to do it because then we solve them all together and then we help each other through. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Nightmare for Americans.
That's a great question. That's a great thing. It really is. Seriously. So in the meeting, Claudia complains that Karl is constantly trying to compare her to Claudia says Karl is trying to compare her to Carla. The ex. I should just say the ex because it's
the ex would be easier. Yeah, it's very confusing. Okay.
All right. So Claudia complains that Karl is trying to compare her to his ex. Right.
Yeah.
Because they look alike, but they're not the same person.
Absolutely. That's a big complaint.
And this is 2 years into it and he's still.
Yeah. She's
still like, I can't live up to this. Yeah.
No,
right.
No, who could?
It'll come up later, but this conversation, Claudia secretly records it.
Oh God, girl. Okay. I was kind of in her corner a little bit like, okay, she's trying. She is trying.
She's trying. I know you want to be in her corner. And then there's a couple things that make it real hard.
Yeah.
So
this is a little
like, I
dirty.
get it. It must be really hard for her to be constantly compared to his ex.
Absolutely. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Out of control.
So she secretly recorded the call. Or the conversation.
Yeah, the conversation. This is with all the family.
This is with all the family.
Oh my God.
So that's how we know that although Karl was pissed, he is able to remain calm. He is still you could tell he's angry, he's upset, but he's not yelling and screaming and not, her voice is a little more emotional. But again, that's also her culture as well, right? Okay. On the call, she complains that he's trying to compare her to Carla. And he's recorded saying, you don't talk about her. You don't know about her.
Oh, shit. He's defending her.
Oh, yeah. He says, this is a quote from the recording. She was a good person and easy to get along with. You are the hardest person to get along with that I've ever met.
Oh, girl. You're not doing yourself any favors here, buddy.
No.
That's rough. That's rough.
So Claudia goes on to be like, look, you're asking for companionship, but you're never home. And I'm always here alone.
Makes sense. Good argument.
I mean, that also, right? That wasn't what,
Mm-hmm.
And the recording ends kind of with Karl saying that, look, I'll do whatever it takes to take care of you, but the marriage is over. This stunt, you just sealed the deal.
Oh, no.
He doesn't even know he was recorded. And he was
No,
already
and he's
like, nope, this is it. This is I don't want to.
okay, yeah. Wait till he finds this part out. Okay.
A couple of weeks later, Claudia called Carl's daughter Eva, who I assume was in North Carolina.
Okay. She
She
wasn't
called.
there during the
No,
the
no, she
intervention?
wasn't there. No, she wasn't part of. Thank God, his kids weren't involved in that family emergency. Right. Claudia calls the daughter to say goodbye, and Eva's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean?" And all Claudia would say is, "That's all. Just goodbye."
Okay. And Carl must not have relayed to his kids that
No, I don't think he had
ending
brought
things.
that up to them yet, right? So it's just, all of a sudden there's just weird call out of nowhere. Hey, I called to say goodbye. Okay.
Hi.
And then,
bye. What?
Yeah. Shortly
right.
after that, Claudia was in a single car accident. She had taken a number of pills and then drove into a telephone pole.
Why go driving?
In an apparent suicide attempt.
Yeah, that's a hard way to. Was she buckled in?
Maybe that's
buckle
why.
Up too.
You weren't supposed to buckle. Maybe her car had an airbag. I don't know.
She's got the safest safety rating car with all the.
The thing that kills me about it is, I don't want anyone to take their own life, but oh my God,
Absolutely.
getting into a car under the influence.
I know.
You could have hurt somebody else.
Killed.
Oh my God, you could have hurt somebody else.
Kids and shit. Not cool.
So she's spent a couple days in a psychiatric hospital.
Okay, good.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And Carl was at her side. But if that was her attempt to keep Carl from leaving,
that's not going to work. No, that's going to push farther away.
Yeah. I know. On March 10th, Carl was flying for Southwest and he had a layover in North Carolina. So he spent the day with his kids and his ex-wife, Rhonda. And like I said, they're still friends.
Okay. Yeah.
And he confided in Rhonda that, you know what, it's not going to work with me and Claudia. And I found a place to rent and I'm going to let her keep the house. Wow. And I'm going to break the news to her when I get home. Wow. And he was planning on moving out on the 12th, 2 days later. That was the plan, right?
Ooh, okay.
And I saw on one thing that Rhonda's like, okay, be safe. Call me when you get home.
Yeah, because it's the most dangerous time. Oh, he didn't. Oh, okay.
He didn't. And that she was like, oh God, you didn't call me when you got home. On March 15th. So that was on the 10th.
Okay.
On March 15th, Carl failed to report for duty at the Youngstown Air Force Reserve Station. That's
almost said he forgot to report for dirty.
Oh, sorry. He forgot to report for duty for, the Air Force Reserve.
That's a huge,
that's a huge deal. And Carl had never missed.
Okay.
Right.
So something's wrong. It's not like he's going AWOL or something weird.
Something's wrong. Right. So his friend, Gary Dodge, the guy who said that he was a better person, that he even was a pilot and he was a great pilot. He tries calling him. Carl's not answering his phone. He leaves a voicemail and is like, I don't know where you are, but if I don't hear from you in an hour, I'm calling the police.
Good. Do it, dude.
Hour goes by.
Oh,
nothing. Right. So Gary calls 911 and asks for a welfare check.
Okay, good.
Police go to Carl's house. There's no answer. And Carl's car is in the driveway.
So he should be there.
His cell phone is on the seat of the car. And in the back seat, there was a suitcase, but it wasn't even fully closed. There was just like clothes and stuff like kind of thrown into it.
Uh-oh.
And then like thrown in the back.
Getting out of there.
Real fast.
Shit. Okay.
Right. So they're like, okay, well, no one's answering at the house. So Gary calls Carl's father so that he could go over there and meet the officer with a key to open in the house. They don't have to break in.
Good. Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
So Gary was on the phone with the officer when they go into the house. And while he's on the phone, he hears Carl's father scream.
Oh, no. Oh
yeah.
No. His dad.
Yeah, his poor dad. Karl Hoerig was dead, laying at the bottom of the stairs. So they walked into like the foyer area and the stairs are right there. And he's right there when they walked in. So right near the front door of the house. And he had been there for a few days.
Ooh.
His body had been covered, depending on my source, either with a tarp or a comforter, but he was covered up, right?
Okay.
Which we know usually when a killer covers the body, it's they either knew him or it's remorse or something, right? So that was like a red flag. He had 2 gunshot wounds to his back and 1 in his head.
Jeez. Okay,
Yeah.
he was running.
He was only 44 years old.
Oh, shit.
I know. So sad. And like this great
person
who maybe made a bad decision.
Bad picker.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
So they noticed that Karl's shoes were still untied and there was a water bottle on the floor next to him. So it appeared as though he was maybe sitting on the stairs getting ready to leave, tying his shoes. And he was shot from behind. It looked like 3 or 4 shots had been fired from upstairs in the hallway going down. One of the shots fired, it looked like probably wounded him, and then he fell down on his face.
Yeah.
And then he was shot 2 more times at close range as he lay down on the floor.
That is brutal. Yikes.
Yeah, seriously. So investigators searched the house, but they found no signs of forced entry, no evidence of burglary, everything except for there being a body in the house. Everything else looked normal, right? Claudia's not there. She doesn't seem to be there, but they're making their way up to the master bedroom. They're checking for everything. When they open the closet door in the magic master bedroom.
It's a magic master bedroom?
I know, it's a magic. It was because it was booby trapped.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Luckily, they opened the closet door very carefully, but there was inside the closet, inside the door frame, there was a 2x4 going across the entrance to the closet.
Oh.
And there was a hole drilled into the 2x4 right at about chest height. And there was a gun pointed outwards to whoever was opening the closet. And there was a string tied to the trigger of the gun that I don't know exactly how was rigged to the closet door. So if you opened it really quick, it would have fired into you.
It's like a Home Alone situation.
Yes, but deadly, very deadly.
Holy shit. Wow. Right. She took some time to set that up. Or somebody did. That was like, police officers are like, we have never seen shit like this before. Yeah,
this is freaking weird, right?
Yeah.
And that took some time to get the 2x4s and nail them and drill a hole that the gun fits in perfectly.
And you've already killed the person you were after. Why are you wanting to hurt other people?
It was very, 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 very weird.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the part of this story that was like, I got to do this story.
Yeah. The magic master room.
Bedroom. Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
So the gun was a 357 where the magic happens in the master bedroom closet. All right.
Where the gun is. Yeah.
Right. The gun was a 357 Magnum revolver with laser sight grip installed so that when you point it, a laser comes out so you know exactly where you're going to fire.
Yikes.
Right. So that was kind of and this was like apparently like a really powerful gun. Like this is a serious gun. This is not like a little, like you throw it in your purse kind of gun.
Right. She doesn't really need that.
Right. And it was loaded with hollow point bullets.
Like a cop killer.
Excessive.
Style.
Yeah, that's excessive, right?
Oh, okay.
And they were able to confirm later that this was the weapon that killed Karl.
Oh.
So it was loaded and cocked, ready to go, pointed out of the closet.
Who else are you hoping to kill? That's just weird. It sounds like it's weird. Like a cop they're hoping to kill.
Right? It was very odd. Oof. Karl's family is, coming to the scene as the word is spreading that Karl's dead and they're all heading over there.
Thank God the dad didn't go up there and try to open.
Oh God, right? Okay.
Yeah.
As Karl's family arrives at the scene, they alert police to the fact that Claudia should be here and she's not, and her BMW is gone. So they're talking to neighbors, and one neighbor said that on the morning of March 12th, that's 3 days before.
Okay.
On the morning of March 12th, he witnessed Claudia get in the BMW and drive, his words, like a bat out of hell down the street.
Okay, and alone.
Right.
All right.
Okay. And they were like, okay, so that was 3 days earlier, and that lined up with the coroner's thought of estimated time of death.
Yeah. Okay, she's looking good for it. Yeah.
She is, right? So a bolo is put out on the BMW.
Okay.
Detectives are trying to piece together a timeline of the days leading up to the murder, right? So they find out that Karl was out of town. They talk to Rhonda, his ex-wife, and she's like, yeah, he was going to leave Claudia. She was ruled out as a suspect because, she's an ex-wife, but they ruled her out right away. Plus, she was in North Carolina and she hadn't gone anywhere. But they find out that 2 days earlier, 2 days before the 12th, on the 10th, Claudia had purchased the 357 Magnum and the bullets, just 2 days before. And she went to a shooting range and took lessons from a gun expert named Richard Slitter on how to fire the gun.
He sounds like he should be a sword expert or
yeah,
a
Slitter.
knife expert.
Slitter. Yeah, Slitter.
Yes.
No, but no guns. Maybe all weapons. I don't know. I didn't investigate that hard.
Could be.
So,
oh, darn.
But they did talk to him, and he said he happened to ask her, why do you need such a powerful weapon? Like, this was a big deal, you know? And she said she needed the stopping power. Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And he mentioned that she didn't need much of a lesson because she pretty much had it down.
Oh.
And she was practicing using the gun to hit targets using the laser grip. So she's, you know,
did she bring a staircase
targets.
too? Like, just let me bring this staircase in. I've got to practice with this.
She didn't. But she did practice firing. Yeah, she did practice firing the weapon to targets.
Okay.
Claudia's car is located at the airport in Pittsburgh. And they learned that she used Karl's airline pass to fly from Pittsburgh to New York and then to Sao Paulo, Brazil for free. By the time they figured out where she was, this was 3 days later, she's already in Brazil. And they found out that 2 days before she had drained their bank accounts and had wired all the money to her father in Brazil.
Fuck.
This is before Karl got home.
So she knew he was going to leave her. So.
Yeah, right. This is not looking good, right? None of this is looking good at all. So while searching the Hoerig's house, they find their computer and they found an email that Claudia had sent to a friend in the early morning hours of the 12th. The 12th is the day they think that he died.
He died. Okay.
Right. And the email was addressed to a friend, but the email was sent to a friend, but in it was a letter that was addressed to Karl.
Oh.
That's kind of weird. Like, for some reason she wanted to write to Karl, but then she sent it to a different person. But in the email, she wrote, "You made me promises that no matter what, there would be no divorce in this relationship. I'm a good woman, Karl. Do not do me wrong, please."
Yeah. Like, is there and if you do, are there?
Right. Yeah. Was there
if you try something, there will be consequences.
Yeah. They also found a computer file that was a recording of the February 5th family emergency meeting.
Right.
Which is why I know exactly what was said during that meeting. And the family's there, and the family's like, we didn't know she recorded this. Yeah. So police are like, all right, look, she had the means. She obviously had a motive.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And she ran. I mean,
and she ran.
That makes it look guilty.
Yeah. This does not look good. So, yeah. On April 12th, 2007, Claudia was charged in absentia because she wasn't there with aggravated murder, and a warrant was issued for her arrest, right?
Oof. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Does Brazil extradite? Oh, no.
That's right where we're going.
Okay.
The Brazilian Constitution says it will not extradite Brazilian-born citizens.
Okay. Got a problem.
Yeah, this is a big problem, right?
Okay. Well, maybe she'll travel.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Oh, shit.
For the next several years, there is a battle between the U.S. and Brazil to extradite Claudia.
Oh, no.
She was put on the FBI's most wanted fugitives list.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, they were serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brazil offered, they're like, well, we'll try her here if you want.
Oh.
But the U.S. prosecutor was like,
No.
In Brazil, the maximum sentence you can receive for murder is 30 years.
Oh.
And you can reduce your time by working or studying. So they're like, nuh-uh.
Wow.
She committed the murder here.
Dang.
She's got to come back here.
Yeah.
They're like, nope. But the Hoerig family and the detectives, they're like, well, we're not giving up on getting justice for Karl, right? So
good.
They continued to try to find ways to get her extradited, right? They were trying everything they could. They were trying to bargain and all this. In the meantime, Claudia's living as a free woman in Brazil.
With all that money, with all his money.
Mm-hmm. I found out it was only about 10 grand, but still.
So you took
But they kept tabs on her.
Okay,
right?
good.
They made sure.
Let's watch her.
They were watching her, right? She bought a house. She started her own business. She got remarried.
Does he know what she did in the past? Because I'd be afraid. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Be afraid. Marry at your own risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Be sure you keep her happy.
Right. So This went on for years, right?
Oh,
She's just
no.
going on her merry
Like,
little way, right?
I'm
His
good.
family's back here in America suffering because they're so
his
pissed, right?
kids.
Finally, they found, I don't know if you'd call it a loophole, but they finally were able to find something. When Claudia became a U.S. citizen in 1998, she took an oath and signed a paper saying she renounced citizenship to any other country. Now, their constitution says any Brazilian-born person will not be extradited. But she gave up her Brazilian.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
citizenship.
So, 2013. Remember, he got married in 2007.
Dang. Okay.
2013, the Brazilian Supreme Court revoked her Brazilian citizenship.
Oh, shit.
Finally.
You done, girl. Yeah. Oh.
But Brazil has a different justice system. They are a democracy, but their court system is slower than ours, apparently. She appealed the decision, and 3 more years went by while she's doing the appeals. And she's still living as a free woman.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if they put her in jail there.
No.
But no. Okay.
No, not yet.
Wow.
It wasn't until April of 2016
Holy balls.
that they finally approved her extradition, and she was taken into custody.
Okay.
So now she's in jail in Brazil. But that was just, okay, we approved that she can be extradited. But then there's a whole process to get her extradited.
Right.
That was 2 more years.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Damn.
If you're I didn't say this, but if you're going to commit a crime, go to friggin' Brazil.
I guess.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah. No, we'll just keep living on. But she's in jail during this time.
But she's in jail. But here, she's
at
in
least this time.
Yeah. But it's a Brazilian prison. So
Are they not so tough?
She gets weekly conjugal visits from her husband.
Yo.
Right?
Okay.
She's not confined to a cell all day. And I don't know if she was allowed, but apparently a lot can do work release.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. And she wasn't convicted yet.
Yeah.
So she probably
she's on
could
a low
have,
level type
but this is like a pretty chill situation in comparison, right? And during this time, there was a rumor going around the prison that Claudia was so desperate not to go back to the US that there was a chance she would kill another inmate.
Ooh.
Because then she'd be tried for murder in Brazil.
Whoa, that's
and
wild.
That would trump the other. Yeah. So people were afraid of her.
I wondered if she could get a new citizenship to Brazil and renounce her American citizenship.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, now she's married to a Brazilian, and she's the other guy's.
But maybe because it was during the time that she possibly killed him that.
I don't know, man.
Her citizenship.
Maybe that's what she was doing with all these appeals back and forth and stuff. I don't know.
Shit.
Okay, so finally, January 17th, 2018.
Jeez.
More than 10 years after the murder, she is finally put on a plane back to the US to face charges.
Holy balls.
And she lived for free for 10 years. Well, and then there were a handful that were in jail.
Yeah, a la jail. Yeah.
La jail. Exactly. Right.
Okay.
She was instantly taken to the police station and questioned by the detectives. They've been waiting to question her for 10 bleeping years, right? She instantly confessed that she shot him.
Oh.
Under emotional duress. Okay.
Okay. What's
she said Karl was controlling and abusive. And she suffered from a lot of mental anguish because he was constantly comparing her to his ex.
Okay.
And that she made him do demeaning sexual things.
Like he made her do it?
Yeah.
Oh, you said she did. And so I was like,
I'm sorry. He made her. I'm sorry. No, he made her do it. Sorry. Right.
Okay. So
she also said that she had 2 miscarriages during their marriage. She didn't believe that she could even get pregnant. She had had 2 miscarriages. However, both times she had told Karl she was pregnant. He didn't want the baby. And she ended up being so depressed that she miscarried. And
is that still all the reason to kill somebody?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And all of this caused her to be suicidal, all this mental anguish and the miscarriages and stuff.
Okay.
So she tells them she purchased the gun to commit suicide.
You need a laser sight and shit.
Right? She needed a laser sight, right? Yeah. She said that on the morning of March 12th, that she told Karl that she was pregnant again because she had just taken a pregnancy test and he didn't want the baby.
Oh, shit.
And she knew he was going to say that. So she pulled the gun out and pointed it at her head and said she was going to kill herself.
Yeah.
Because of this.
That's a duress type thing.
Right.
To him. Yeah.
So she said that when she did that, his response was, wait till after I leave and go do it in the basement so you don't get blood all over the walls.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't sound like him, but okay.
No, right? It doesn't really
rough.
sound like him at all. But she said that's what he said. And that she was so upset that was his reaction to, I don't want the baby and I'm going to kill myself, that she turned the gun on him. And if he hadn't said that, I would be dead and he would be alive. That was in her taped confession.
Okay,
so it was his fault. He said that.
Oh, right. Oh, so it's all his fault that he died. I see.
That's why she was enraged, because of all the duress and the anguish and stuff. So she said this all happened in the bedroom, that she turned the gun on Karl and started shooting and he fell down the stairs.
Okay, that's not how it seemed to happen though, right? There would be blood on the stairs going down and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't really match the evidence, right? They let her talk.
Yeah.
She said she then intended to shoot herself, but she was out of bullets.
How convenient. You only got like 3 bullets out of...
Right. But also, the gun was in the closet and it was loaded.
Oh, I forgot about that point.
Right? That was weird.
That's ghosts.
Ghosts.
Mm.
Yep. Peeves from Harry Potter. Peeves.
Peeves.
Right.
They got in there. Mm.
So she said, okay, so then she was out of bullets and she was like, what do I do now? So she called her family in Brazil and they told her, come home. Just get in a plane, come home.
Well, of course. But also I'm pretty sure she had it in her mind since she had the money beforehand.
Right. When did she take that money out? Because that was before
before he was home.
So, right. So anyways, she tells her whole big sad story. Okay. Claudia went on trial in January of 2019. Finally, right?
Yeah.
She took the stand in her own defense.
Oh, because she's saucy.
And she just
show that Brazilian butt.
You have to hear my story, right? Once you hear my story, you'll understand.
You'll totally get it. Yeah.
So, like you said, Kelly, the prosecution pointed out that her version didn't match the evidence.
Yeah.
Just like no blood on the steps.
I mean, yeah.
It looked like there was nothing to indicate that he fell down the stairs, right? 2 gunshot wounds were at close range. Like he got shot. One of the shots hit him. He went down. And then while he was face down, he got shot in the back of the head one more time. While someone was standing over him. Right. Plus, they pointed out the whole gun in the closet booby trap situation, right?
What's that? She never explained this.
Well, she does on the stand.
Oh, good. Okay.
Finally. Okay. On the stand, she explains that she had become so desperate from the mental and sexual abuse. And she was so upset to find out that she was pregnant again, knowing that Karl didn't want the baby, that she researched suicide online and learned that when people shoot themselves with a gun, sometimes they hesitate at the last second. And so then they miss, right? So that's why she set up the gun in the closet. It was a suicide thing. She was going to set it up. And then so she didn't miss. She was going to open the closet door on herself.
Okay. But you're still aware that it's there. So wouldn't you still jump? Because you know it's coming.
Right. And what was the need to practice at a shooting range to shoot at somebody from far away?
Totally.
Like.
We know better than this, girl. I mean, good story, but no.
Right. And you know what? You've been divorced before. If he was really like, you're not Carla, I would have been like, you're right. Bye.
Yeah. You can leave.
Give me half and I'm out of here.
You can leave. Yeah.
Seriously, right?
I don't care how mad you are. Okay. She obviously planned something.
She had some stuff up her sleeve, right? So the jury agreed. It only took them 3 hours to deliberate before they found her guilty. So
they're like,
Claudia
we're just staying
Hoerig
long enough
guilty.
to get a free lunch. Let's make it through another hour.
Right. We had to sit through a couple weeks. We might as well take our time here and make it look like we tried. Right. So Claudia Hoerig was found guilty. She was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. With the possibility of parole after 28 years. I did see last minute one of the agreements in her extradition was that she wouldn't be eligible for the death penalty.
Oh,
They would
gotcha.
they're like, okay, we'll extradite her, but she can't have the death penalty. And they're like, okay. So life without the possibility of parole with the possibility after 28 years. Now, she already filed an appeal. She's awesome at these appeals. She had a lot of practice in Brazil.
Yeah.
But the Ohio Supreme Court refused to listen. They won't hear her case. So
good.
That's the last of it. She is still in jail in Ohio. She's probably still filing appeal after appeal, having a good old time.
God, but I wonder, I'm surprised they didn't charge her with endangerment or something for that, setting the gun up, because she was endangering lives or even attempted murder, because that's
You're absolutely right.
Somebody,
I'm sorry,
like the
that
cops.
was the most bizarre. I still don't get that.
No. Why go to that trouble? You've already killed the person you want to. Was she trying to set something else up? I don't know.
And that was also very pre-planned, because she would have had to go get a 2x4. She would have had to
You're researching all this.
A perfect hole to fit the gun, because nothing else held the gun up. I have pictures of it. The barrel of the gun was fit inside the hole that was in the 2x4. So it would have had to be just, because if it had been too big or too small, it wouldn't have sat in there perfectly, or it would have been angled. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was just.
That's really weird. I don't get that.
Weirdest thing. It's just the weirdest thing.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
that is bizarre story.
Yeah, that's why I was watching an episode of Snapped, and when I got to the part about
you found Snapped episodes again? Is it newer one?
It is.
Okay.
So just so you know, for my sources, Snapped season 30, episode 8.
Okay.
Claudia Hoerig. You can see the pictures of the weird booby trap thing.
Yeah.
You want to hear my other sources?
Oh,
please. I had lots of good sources.
Oh, good.
So Snapped was good, but there are also 2 articles on CBS News. I believe there's also like a 48 hours or something. I didn't watch it, but there's also a 48 hours. Oxygen.com, WFMJ.com, and then lawandcrime.com actually had a video. It was 2 hours, so I only watched part of it, of her taped confession.
Wow, cool.
And she was very animated about all the trauma, and these are the things that he did to me. Like, you totally see why I did this, right? Like, he deserved to be shot because, like, so much trauma for 2 years. Yeah, it was. She was like, no, I did it, but he deserved it type situation. There was no at trial. They there were all these character witnesses of Karl. There was his ex-wife was married to him for a bunch of years. She's like, none of that sounds like our marriage. None of, like, he would have had to completely change personalities. There was no evidence. They brought up that she said she had all these miscarriages, right? She was pregnant at least 3 times and had miscarriages. There were no medical records. There were no receipts. There were no doctor's visits to prove any of this. It was just her story. She just had this story.
Wow.
So, I mean, I feel bad for her, but like, not that bad. Like,
I know.
We had other options.
There were so many other options. Like, think about it.
Maybe if you don't marry somebody after only knowing them 2 months, you'll know that their job has them gone all the time. And so you're marrying somebody who doesn't live at home every day.
Awesome story.
So that's
you.
Karl and Claudia Hoerig. Yeah.
Ooh, and that's a wrap for season 12.
Oh gosh. Yay. Yay, season 12. Holy cow. How have we done 12 seasons already?
I don't know. Thanks for joining us for another episode of ODFM. ODFM is hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Editing and production is by Kelly DeVries. Theme music is by Eric Swanson. For images from each episode and more, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok with the handle ODFM Podcast. For video episodes, subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching for ODFM Podcast. If you are looking for more content, chances at prizes and more, become a Patreon fan at patreon.com/ODFM Podcast. Subscribing to our Patreon is a great way to help us get better equipment, and our big goal is to hire an editor someday, so your contribution could really make a difference. If you can't give monthly, there are other ways you can help. Share us with your true crime friends. Word of mouth goes a long way. Or you can give us a one-time contribution through buymeacoffee.com/ODFM Podcast. We appreciate your support, and someday we hope to make ODFM our main jobs with your help.